Are we starting here?
Yes, but we need to do an intro, my love.
You can do it on your own.
No.
Okay, intro, go.
Hey guys, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we have a very special guest.
And me, Francis.
My boyfriend, Francis, and my lovely little baby girl, Penny. She'll
She's
probably
the special guest.
not be here the whole time, but yeah.
I'll just put her in the shelf while we pull it.
This is our board game. Penny Rose. Anyways, today we are doing our board game collection. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while because
And you had some requests for it too.
yeah, we just recently got into, well, not recently, we've been into it for 4 months now. Well, anyways, we got Tokaido one time at Indigo, and then it just grew from there.
Blew up from there.
So we wanted to do a quick board game collection. We're just going to take each board game out, give you guys a quick spiel on what it is. Let us know down below if you want us to do more board game content, because we would love to start doing like playthroughs and game reviews and like top 10 videos, like top 10 two-player games, top 10 family games, top 10
party games,
social
games, yeah.
social games, horror games,
There's lots.
cooperative games. There's so many top 10s that we could do, and I feel like it would be so much fun and an excuse for us to get more board games. So yeah, anyways, let's get into this. If you want to see our board game collection, just keep on watching, and let's get into it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Okay, so first we have Dutch Blitz.
Dutch Blitz. Oh yes, what a
It's
classic.
a crazy game. It's really fast paced.
It's a fun like party game,
Yeah.
I would say. With a lot of people. There's a lot of yelling,
Swearing.
swearing.
And hands crashing into each other.
Yes.
So yeah, it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's a card game.
It's a card game with numbers.
Yeah, it's almost like solitaire in a way too.
Solitaire,
you're always going from
you're
1,
like
2,
putting
3, 4.
different numbers on top of
Yeah.
each other, different colors, that sort of thing. Almost like Uno-ish, but more fun than Uno.
Yeah,
There's
and
like a bunch of
everyone's
tiles
there's
all
no
over the
turns.
table.
Everyone's just going and going.
Yeah. You're all going at the same time. It's a good
Someone
time.
Someone could steal the 2 spot from you, and you're gonna be too late, and you're gonna just be stuck there for the rest of the game.
It
Can be
sucks.
frustrating.
Yes, frustrating but fun game. Next game is Gloom, which we haven't actually played this one very many times.
No.
I feel like it's one that has to have a specific group of people, because you're doing a lot of like making up stories, kind of storytelling. You're basically trying to get the other players' families to be happy, and then the most unhappy you want your family to be, basically.
Yeah, you want your family to be as unhappy as they can be and dead at the end of the... You're trying to kill them off, basically.
And like the cards are
The cards are amazing. I love the art.
So cool.
I love the art of the people, too. It reminds me of, like, Addams Family.
Addams Family.
And I loved Addams Family as a kid, so...
Don't put it too close or
Yeah.
it won't focus. Do
Love
you want to
letter.
do this one? We also need to be more quick with these, or this video is going to be 2 hours long.
So long, okay.
Quick.
Love Letter, great game. Alright, next.
Love Letter literally only has like, what,
Maybe
16 cards or something?
Yeah, maybe not even.
But at the end, you basically
yeah,
want the highest number. Go look it up if you want to know more about Love Letter.
It's great because it's a good travel game.
It's
I mean,
small, it's simple to
all you
learn.
need is this.
All you need is a little bag with the 16 cards. And that's
and
it.
tokens.
We don't need the tokens. You could just keep track in your heads or something. Okay, next up. We're going through all like the smaller games first, but this is The Mind. This has probably been one of my favorite games that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Especially like playing it with new people. It is the most fun. It's the most simple game when it comes to the mechanics, but the most difficult when it comes to the gameplay. It's crazy. Basically, there are numbers 1 to 100 in cards, Everyone gets a card. You have levels 1 to 12. Level 1, you each get 1 card. Level 2, you each get 2 cards, and so on and so forth. And you're putting them down in chronological order. Is that the word? So
or ascending
order.
Ascending order.
And you can't say anything. You can't do anything. You can't do any gestures. You can't do anything. So you just have to sit there.
You use your gut feeling.
You all have to be one, aka the mind, and figure out how to put them down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whatever. I still have yet to see someone that actually hated this game or that didn't really like that game.
Yeah.
Everyone that we introduced that game to loved it.
Loves it.
This after dinner trivia. It's just it's a trivia game. So
That's actually one that I got
actually
before we've gotten any of these.
Oh yeah.
I got it from my parents.
Well, actually,
Christmas.
Catan.
Oh, you've had Catan.
I had Catan. So Catan.
Speaking of Catan,
this expansion.
To make it 5 to 6 players instead of the normal game is 4.
I'm pretty sure this is probably one of the most popular ones we have on here.
Catan, or Settlers of Catan. Such a good freaking game. You're collecting resources with die.
It's almost like Monopoly but fun.
We're not
the
big
frustration.
fans of Monopoly.
No, we don't like Monopoly. You build your own settlement, you try to grow it, you try to take as much land as you can before the other people take that land.
Build things, and yes.
And then there's the thief, which we all hate, but...
We all hate the thief. Anyways, next up we have Sushi Go Party, which is, I think, one of my favorites. I love this so much. It's such a good family game. It is, I'd say, pretty simple. I feel like some kids could play this, so if you do have a family and you have some kids probably around the age of like 9 to 12, they should be able to figure it out. It's a pretty simple card drafting game. You're trying to make the best dinner, sushi dinner to be specific, that you can, with the cutest artwork ever. I'm obsessed. There's also just normal Sushi Go, but Sushi Go Party is 100% better.
Tokaido?
Oh yeah, this is a Tokaido expansion.
Yeah, so this goes with our Tokaido game here.
Which was our very first game.
Yeah, so this one is basically, you're trying to get the most fulfilling travel adventure. Yes.
You are
You're just a traveler.
Tourist.
Yeah, you're a tourist and
you
you're going
get
through
pictures, you want to meet the locals.
Strangers, yeah.
Eat food.
Purchase souvenirs. And
yeah.
basically at the end of when you reach your destination, when everyone reaches their destination,
whoever
they just,
has the most points wins.
Whoever was able to live life to the fullest into the game.
Life to the fullest.
Wins.
And
it's nice. It's not too competitive. Even though it's every person for themselves, it's not that competitive.
It's very just not slow paced, but just very chill.
Yeah.
I would say, and the artwork is like insane.
Yeah, the artwork's beautiful.
That's like the main reason why we bought it. Like, can we talk about that?
Yeah, you were the one
artwork.
that.
I'm a sucker for good packaging. Come on. Okay, next up we have Decrypto, which we saw this one on Board Game Geek. And then we found it in Indigo/Chapters, and it was, I think, #1 party game.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, no. Sorry, Codenames is supposed to be #1. I think
this is number 2.
#4.
Okay.
But I actually prefer Decrypto way more than Codenames.
They're very similar. They have different gameplay, but the general task is somewhat the same. No, because this one you have like the whatever it's called.
I like how much more this has to offer. Because that one you're just saying a word and trying to get your partners to guess it. But
this one has more.
This one allows your opponents to first intercept, so you can't be too obvious.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your opponents can intercept, and if they can't intercept, that's when your teammates can guess and hopefully get it correct.
Yeah, both of them are really good.
I like both.
Word party games, I would say. But I don't think you need to explain Codenames unless you want to.
No, we can.
Codenames was a good one. It's a very popular game, so we wanted to get it to make our board game collection good. Okay. Chakra.
This is yours. So, speaking of pretty design, so Tokaido, she bought this pretty design, and she thought this was pretty too. It is.
And I like the concept of the game. Chakra was one that I saw on Board Game Geek, and it wasn't that highly rated, but then I saw it at our local board game store, and the whole concept of the chakras and trying to get your chakras in balance, it just is very pretty. It has like rainbow colored gems. We've only played it once together, and I got frustrated because he was so much better at it than I was, and I was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, the one thing I will give this, the thing is about that is we don't actually have any other games that resemble this kind of gameplay.
Yeah, the mechanics is really different.
For example, Sushi Go Party has very similar mechanics to Seven Wonders. It's a card drafting game. Yeah. But and Decrypto and Codenames,
like,
but
I
Chakra
guess the
is
only
very
thing
unique.
that I could kind of put this with is Sagrada.
Yeah,
just
that's
with
true.
the colors, but it's not the same at all.
It's all about placement.
Yeah,
right?
it's about placements of the chakras and doing moves and stuff.
Yeah.
If you like pretty things, check it out.
I wouldn't.
No?
I don't know. If someone you know has it, play it at their house. Then buy it if you like it.
Play it. Yeah, first. Next up, we have Welcome To, which is one of my favorites.
So good.
I love this one.
I think it's our only roll and write game.
It's our only roll and write, and I love roll and writes. We need to get more.
Yeah. So we say roll, but there's no dice in here.
No, it's actually like
cards.
A flip and write.
Yeah. So
but they're all the same.
So you flip three decks, right?
There's you have 3 decks, and you flip 3 of them, and then you can choose between those 3 which one you want to put onto there, and you're basically putting in numbers on a street.
Yeah, you'll have a neighborhood plan like this, and whatever you flip, you can write and fill out your neighborhood, and then whoever has the, I guess, best created neighborhood.
We have an audience.
Yeah,
Penny, you're so cute.
You tally up the points at the end, and whoever the best neighborhood wins.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Basically, your street has to have numbers in ascending order. It's like a basic street. You can't have 2 of the same street numbers beside each other, and it has to go up as you go down the street.
Again, it's like bingo on steroids.
Bingo on steroids.
On a lot of steroids.
And the nice thing about that one
fun.
is it's 1 to 100 players.
Yeah.
You can literally have as many as you want because everyone just has their own pad of paper, and it's a good time. So I love this game so much.
Well, we've only played this a couple times.
Yeah.
This is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. This is a great party game. I'd say the more players, the better. This
then the
actually,
more, like different hidden roles there are.
This is 4 to 12 players. I wouldn't play with 4.
No.
I'd say maybe 6 or more, or 5 or more would be best. You're investigating a murder.
Yes.
One of the players will be the murderer. Another will be the accomplice.
And then the witness.
There's the witness.
Private investigator.
Who kind of runs the game, right? The private investigators are trying to figure out who the murderer is. It's the forensic scientist. Who one player will be the forensic scientist, and they will be giving out the clues because the forensic scientist starts the game knowing who the murderer is, and they have to give out clues that point to that murderer. But everyone doesn't know, and they can see everyone's cards. It's hard to guess. Together. Everyone has one guess to get the murderer, and
it's a fun hidden role game for sure. You all get cards at the beginning, and then you all look at your card to see what role you have. You're either the murderer or the witness or an investigator, and then you try to figure out who the murderer is.
Very social game.
Yeah.
Best for
because you're all just sitting around the table, like chatting amongst each other, and obviously the murderer is trying to point to someone else so that no one pinpoints them and stuff like that. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one for a party.
Okay, next up we have Foodies, which I think this one recently was released. It's not too old, definitely, but you're basically all making your own food court, and you're picking different cuisines to go in your food court, and all of it is helping in different ways. There's Japanese, and you roll a die, and if that number is where you have a certain restaurant on your food court, you get whatever that restaurant gives you. And first person to a certain amount of stars is the winner. It's fun. It has to do with food. That's the main reason why I liked it.
7 Wonders.
And the Leaders expansion.
That's a great expansion.
Amazing expansion.
Definitely recommend this for anyone that's starting out. This is probably a good introductory game for people starting out with board games. It gets you into the whole card drafting mechanic, which is actually it's we have a few games that have card drafting, I believe, right? Or is it just this? Actually, Sushi Roll is a dice drafting.
Yeah, but I think 7 Wonders and Sushi Go Party are only 2 card drafting.
But there are lots of other card drafting games out there.
But 7 Wonders, I feel like, is probably the best. And adding the Leaders expansion makes it so much fun. There's a bunch of other expansions. I think there's Leaders, Cities, and Babel. I think that's what it is, but I think Leaders is the best one, personally.
So what's the point of the game? The point of the game is you draft cards. You basically, first, you want to draft resources.
Get your resources first.
Cards, there's some cards that'll allow you to make rock or brick or...
And then those resources allow you to purchase other things in other stages. You have 3 stages, and then by the end of the 3rd stage, you put all your points together, and whoever has the most points in the end wins. Woo! My turn.
This one's actually probably our first. Yeah, going through it, this is the first one that's a co-op game.
This is our first co-op game. It is Horrified. It is based on all of the old, like, what is it? Universal
Studios?
Yeah, Universal Studio monsters. Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, Dracula, all those. And you're basically just going around the board,
I love that box.
collecting items.
It's so colorful. I love that box. It's so great.
You collect items on a map, and then you use those items to defeat each monster, and each monster has like a different way to defeat them. It is so much fun. We haven't actually played with all of the monsters yet, so I feel like we definitely have a lot more plays.
I'm actually going to jump, because Horrified is very similar to Pandemic, I'd say.
I'd say the only similarity is that they're both, like, cooperative.
Yeah, but every turn you do here,
I guess there's like...
You have a card that kind of resolves the monsters, what the monsters do. And then here, you have a card that resolves what what do you call it?
The pandemic.
No, the viruses.
The
diseases do.
Yes.
So I'd say they're very similar. But this one's just easier to get the hang of.
Yeah.
And here, to cure a disease, you have to do the same thing, right? You just turn in.
Oh yeah, I guess you're like collecting cards to help cure. This one you're collecting items to help defeat the monster.
Is it 5 cards to make a cure?
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice 5 cards to make a cure. This one, what I like about Horrified is each monster, to defeat them is a different way. So
it keeps it
fresh
and new.
Yeah, I actually think I prefer Horrified.
Next.
Dead of Winter. It's my favorite. One of my favorites, actually. It's
our only zombie game.
Yeah, so you're in a colony with the other players. It's a co-op game, but it depends on how you play. Because there is a chance
to put a traitor in.
Yeah, there's a chance that there's a traitor in the colony, and their goal is to make the morale of the colony go to 0 and fulfill other goals, I guess, on top of that. So everyone's trying to keep the morale up and have their own personal goals and a colony goal, but the traitor can really put a wrench in that. It's really fun. I love this game.
Going out to different locations and collecting items and making sure your colony is fed and making sure that you figure out how to successfully do your whatever it's called.
And you can even be a dog. I love that. You can be a dog in here. You can give the dog a gun, and he can kill zombies. I love it.
Okay, next up we have Ticket to Ride. This is just the original one. Ticket to Ride is a very popular board game. I think this one is a good intro one as well. You can get it at a lot of places. You're basically just collecting different colors of train cards and then using those cards to place trains. That's the easiest way to say it. And there's a map. You put it so close to the camera.
Okay, Sagrada. This is pretty much like Sudoku in a way.
Yeah.
Right? You roll a bunch of dice. You have this sheet in front of you. Everyone has their own personal sheet of what.
Well, it's a stained glass window.
Yeah, and stained glass window. Similar to this. Can they see that? Is that too close? Okay. And you just put the dice wherever you want, but it needs to follow the rules that are set on the sheet. So
some squares you have to put certain numbers.
Some squares are yellow, some are certain numbers. But you can't have two numbers touching each other that are similar, so 4 and 4 can't touch together unless they're diagonal, I guess.
Colors can't be touched.
And 2 colors can't be touching together.
And you have personal goals, there's public goals that everyone's trying to do, and then in the end you count up all your die, and whoever has the highest score wins. Boom, boom. Next up, we have one that we haven't played a lot.
We've only played it once.
Only played it once.
Lots of love.
But it's an interesting one. It's definitely unlike any other game that we have. You're basically playing 2 characters and making them go on a date and have a relationship.
You're basically playing one. It's a 2-player game. One person's playing one character, the other person's playing the other, and you guys are going through a rom-com. It's basically a rom-com.
Yeah.
Right.
At first, I thought this game was weird because I thought you were playing yourself, and I'm like, well, I wouldn't want to play this game with like my dad. Like, I'm not going to go on a date with my dad. But you're playing other characters, so like I could very well play a guy. Yeah, you're role playing.
Well, our first and only time that we played this, you were the guy.
I was the guy and you were the girl. It's fun. You get to pick like traits for your person and stuff like that. We've already explained Tokaido. Do you want to explain
Concept?
Concept was one that I think I bought.
Yeah. You
but
said,
it's one that we used to play at Christmas on my mom's side.
It's a social game again.
It's a very social game.
Word game.
Party game.
What you do is you'll get a card like this where it's a blue, red, and gray, and you choose whatever word you want to try to get the other people to guess. And you'll have this board, and you can only use the images on this board to communicate that word. I'd say it's probably one of my favorites.
So like, for example, they have here a bee. If you're trying to get the other people to guess bee, you would do an animal, yellow, black, small, flying, just all of like the descriptive words you would try to get everyone else to guess. Pandemic we've already explained, but Pandemic is a very popular game. Another very good introductory cooperative game, I would say. It is pretty difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to win.
We only won a few times.
And I think it's because of the hand limit. You can only have 7 cards at a time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it tough, especially when you need to have 5 of the same colored cards to make a cure. Then
and like the disease spreads very quickly and gets overwhelming very quickly. But next up, we have a very, very popular game this year, and that is Wingspan.
The most
Isn't it number one family?
Highest selling game in this year. Number 1 ranked in family board games for.
We never thought we'd actually get it because it was sold out for a very long time, but it finally came back out early October, and I ended up purchasing it for Francis for his birthday.
Definitely one of my favorite games. How do you describe it? I guess you're kind of making your own bird conservatory. Yeah,
you have a hand of birds, and yet again, it's very like collecting resources, using those resources to put down birds in different places. You each have your own board, and there's birds that can only be played in the grass, in the I don't even know. Water. Forest.
Yeah, those three areas.
You have eggs that you can put on your birds.
And this is the dice.
It is so cute.
Roller
the
that
little
you
dice tower.
You put the dice in here, and it just rolls around in there, and it comes out here. It's adorable.
It's such a fun game, and they just recently came out with an expansion.
I definitely agree with the #1 ranking for family game for this. I highly recommend it. Villanous, this is yours. This it's fun. I did like this.
It's again, I guess it's a card. It's not really a card
it's
drafting.
It's not card drafting.
You're playing a character, a villain.
A Disney villain. So you got Captain Hook, Maleficent, Jafar, Ursula, Prince John, and the Queen of Hearts. Basically, you're controlling their story, I guess.
Each player is a different villain, and they each have a different way of winning.
Yeah,
basically.
For example, Captain Hook, you have to kill Peter Pan on the Jolly Roger, is that his ship? And Jafar, you need to have, I think, the magic lamp.
Jafar.
I think you need the magic lamp, and you need the genie under your control.
Yeah.
And then you win.
You're all doing this with cards. You have like your deck. You have the fate deck, which people can use your fate deck to like challenge you, I guess.
Kind of curse you in a way. Just kind of throw
you a curveball.
Yeah. So you have a little more of a hurdle to get to your goal.
It's my turn.
Here you go.
Okay, next up, Miss Penny has joined us. Next up, we have Betrayal at House on the Hill. This one is so much fun. I love it. You are basically exploring a haunted house all together. At first, it is pretty much a co-op game. You're all kind of just walking around a house exploring, but you are collecting items. You're collecting omens, which are haunted items, and the more omens that you have, the more likely you are to have the haunt happen. When the haunt happens, one person becomes the betrayer. Betrayer?
Betrayer.
The betrayer or traitor, and ends up being, everybody against one, and it is so much fun. There are so many different haunts you can do. We've only played 3 different haunts, and there are 50.
Yeah,
so the replayability of this game is insane, and it's been so much fun.
Especially because it's a tile placing game, so as you explore the house, it's not always going to be the same.
Yeah, the house ends up being totally different, and you can explore.
You need a lot of room,
cool
though,
rooms.
so don't play with a small table.
Yeah. Ooh, you get to do this one, babe.
I love this one. It's what kind of mechanics?
You should probably tell them the name of it.
So this is Everdell. This is again another one she bought for my.
I bought him Wingspan and Everdell.
I'd say out of all of this has the best art as well.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it won best art in 2018 or something.
It's
for the Dice
amazing.
Tower.
So it's a worker placement game,
Worker
right?
placement. Yeah.
Would you say it's also a deck builder or engine builder? Engine builder is probably what.
Yes, because you're creating a town basically with 15 different cards in front of you. There's like a postal pigeon, and there's like different animals that represent different things in a town. So there's like a teacher that's a crow, a hedgehog that's a doctor. It's so
it's a great game. It's a little complex. I definitely wouldn't recommend it for kids.
Again, you're collecting resources as well.
Yeah. This one is a little more simple. That was an engine builder.
Splendor is probably one of the best engine builder games, I think. I like. Well, from our collection. But you're basically collecting gems, which are tokens, in order to purchase cards that then give you more gems, and then you're purchasing other cards that are more gems, and it's
called an engine builder because basically you're starting to pick up the pace as you get more cards, and then suddenly everything's starting to be coming for free instead of having to purchase them.
The first person to 15 prestige points is the winner. Obviously, you could probably put it up to like 20 if you wanted to prestige, if you wanted the game to go longer, but it's a fun game.
Munchkin, this is all about dungeon crawling. You break down the door, you see what monster you fight, and then you beat it, you get the treasures, and then you get to the next room. the only catch is you're also doing this with other people.
And
other people can either help you or help the monster. So if you're close to the last level, they could help the monster, and you could lose, you could die, and have to start back in the first stage. This can go a little long.
Yeah,
depending because normally everyone helps each other until the last room, and then that's when they start helping the monster, and then it just drags from there sometimes. So it is a fun game though.
The cards are freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Dixit. Basically with this one, someone says a word or a sentence or a
song. You can sing it too.
Anything, and that is kind of their card.
Yeah,
you put that
they're
card
trying
down.
to hint to a card, and the cards can be pretty abstract. Right here. And the catch is you don't want to make it too obvious. If everyone guesses the same card and it's yours.
They didn't even explain. Everyone else has to put in a card.
Yeah.
That they think kind of
resembles
that hint, word, expression, anything like that. It's upside down. But it's a lot of fun, and then the first person to 30 points wins. But yeah, like he was saying, you don't want it to make it too obvious, because then everyone's going to pick the correct one. If everyone picks the correct one, you don't get any points.
Everyone does.
Yeah, everyone else gets points. And if no one picks yours, then you don't get any points. Neither do they, right?
Yeah.
No one gets points.
Or I think everyone gets points if no one picks yours, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, Sushi Roll.
Sushi Roll, similar to Sushi Go, dice drafting game. Basically, you roll the dice, and everyone has their own dice, right? I think everyone rolls 8.
You put them onto a little conveyor belt.
Yeah, and then
you choose one die.
Everyone rolls, and then choose one die, and then you pass it along, and then you just keep choosing until there's no more.
It's the same concept as Sushi Go, but instead of cards, you're picking dice. I would say that you don't really need both Sushi Roll and Sushi Go. I would definitely think, like, do you prefer dice games or do you prefer card games? I think I prefer Sushi Go Party.
That's hard to say, because I think I'd always 100% all the time, even if I like dice games, I'd go with Sushi Go Party, because there's so much you can manipulate what the menu has. This one is always the same menu, so you're always dealing with the same food.
Yeah. Well, with just Sushi Go, they only have the one set.
Yeah.
Sushi Go Party, you have so many more combinations.
The advantage of this is the setup time is like that.
Really quick.
Yeah. And that one takes a while.
Mm-hmm. Catan, we've already explained.
Quelf,
we
haven't played it yet.
Never played this game.
So we can't really say much about it.
It seems like a very good party game.
Yeah, for drunks.
For drunks. If there's alcohol involved, it'll be a good time.
From what we've read, you just do random weird acts. Like,
there's different cards that tell you what to do.
Yeah, like I think there's one that shows at the beginning, like put a shoe on your head and then keep it on your head for the rest of the game. If it falls, then you move back a couple spaces or whatnot. Money. Okay.
Okay, next up.
Smallworld.
We got Smallworld.
Oh,
Smallworld is, Penny ate one of the pieces. But Smallworld is a kind of modernized Risk, would you say?
Version of Risk.
You're trying to take over as many parts of the map as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's pretty good?
That's fairly accurate. And then
you have different
races and
abilities for those races.
Abilities for the races.
So you'd have your ability, which could be flying, and then
or merchant.
Dwarves. Flying dwarves. Flying means that you can put your race anywhere instead of branching off from where you started. And you gain points at the end of each round based on where you have your people. That's it. It's a good game. Probably not one of my favorites, but still fun.
I really like it.
We end up getting like the You keep on getting the ones that I like more, and I keep getting yours.
This is Dream Home. I would say
I love Dream Home so much.
It's actually a really good game. I like this.
I actually think this is a card drafting game, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a card drafting mechanic. You're basically building your own house.
Dream home, but in the end it doesn't actually.
Yeah, sometimes
dream home because you don't have a choice.
Yeah, sometimes people will grab all the bathrooms, so your house might not even have a bathroom.
Yeah.
But basically you have
for different things.
You have a little board. Everyone has this personal board that's an outline of a house, and you just fill up each space with a bedroom that's drawn from a pool that everyone else draws from.
I love it.
It's really fun.
My mom likes this game as well.
Yeah, it's a simple game to learn.
Yeah.
That's probably good for kids too.
Okay, next up we have
Mysterium.
Mysterium, which was one of our first games, I think.
This was really fun. Actually, some of your viewers
people told us to get this one.
This is basically like Dixit and Gloom mixed together.
Yeah, you're basically one person chooses to be the ghost, which then he uses the same kind of abstract cards and clues to give to everybody. Everybody is a paranormal investigator, and they're trying to figure out how the ghost died, so what weapon, where, and who killed them. And each person gets a different clue, and that is the ghost trying to point out each person's person, place, and thing.
Yeah, the ghost has to use the visual clues on the card and to kind of link it to the item, the person, the location. And sometimes it can go totally wrong.
The ghost can only have so many cards, and sometimes you don't have the perfect card to give a hint to something, so it gets difficult. So it's a good one.
It's fun being the ghost. I love being the ghost. It's the best.
It's actually is it a cooperative game? Because everyone's working together.
That's a cooperative game, yeah.
And we also have the hidden signs,
it's a good expansion, I think.
It just gives you
provides you more people, more locations,
things.
more clue cards. This one,
Subterra.
So another tile placing game. Actually, we have two tile placing games next to each other.
Yeah.
This one, everyone starts on one tile, and then it's a cooperative game. Everyone's trying to escape the cave before their flashlights go out. Once their flashlights go out, then that's when the horrors, the monsters, have a chance of killing you more often. So what happens is everyone can branch off, and when you explore a different section, you pull the tile, you put it down. Everyone's trying to find the exit, and
some
then run
tiles
towards
have
the exit.
different hazards on them. There's water that could potentially flood. There's rocks that could potentially cave in. There's horrors that could potentially spawn and start chasing you. There's gas. Next up is Carcassonne, which is again a very well-known board game. It's again a tile laying game. You flip over a tile, you add it to the board, and you are placing your meeples, which I don't think there's any other game that we have that has meeples. I think meeples are...
They call all others, like all other things with people as pieces, meeples. So these have meeples as well, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was this like shape.
No, it doesn't have to be that shape as long as it's
just a game.
Just a person piece. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you're placing your meeples in different parts to collect points.
So it's a worker placement.
Worker placement tile laying game.
Really
Love
good.
it. Has lots of expansions, but we have yet to get any of them.
This is Santorini. I love this game. I think it's amazing.
It's a really good two-player game.
Yeah, it kind of pits you head-to-head against someone similar to checkers and chess. Very strategic. You have to build...
I'll put
yeah. You have to build, I guess,
little
a
city thing.
And try to be standing on the third floor, but your opponent can also try to cap it.
With one of the little blue domes.
Yeah.
So you're basically trying to get to the top before
and then
your opponent caps.
What I love is you can, at the beginning of the game, you choose a god that gives you a special ability. So every game can be different.
There's so
too.
many different gods and so many combinations.
We still have to get the explanation for that actually.
Next up is Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is one that we are really excited about because it was designed by Wolfgang Warch. He was the same designer of The Mind, and he's known to make a lot of good games. I personally love this game. You don't because it's a push your luck game.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You don't like.
You can't strategize in it.
He likes
There's
to strategize
no strategy
and think a lot in games.
Because you could like push your luck.
I have a lot of fun with luck games.
I want to have control over how my game is going.
But yeah, you're basically taking ingredients out of a bag and putting it in your like pot for like a potion, and you can only put so many before your pot explodes, and you have full control of how many you like take out, but once you hit a certain number of the little white ingredients, your pot explodes and you don't get any points. So you kind of have to feel it out, basically. We're almost done. We have
above and below. I don't even know how to
games.
describe this. This is a great game, though.
You have a tribe of people, and each person, it's a worker placement.
Yeah.
So each person you can use to do a task in your tribe. You can explore. You have like the undercaves, aka above and below.
That's one of the best parts of the game. Actually, you can explore underground.
And they have like an encounter book.
Yeah. They have so many encounters. I think it's 150 or something.
It's a lot of storytelling.
It depends. When you explore underground, you could get encounter 89, and then it gives you options of what actions you want to do. So you actually get a bit of a story.
Yeah.
It's a good
story.
It does that does make the game a little
long,
lengthy because of the reading, how much reading there is.
You can explore. You can build. And then at the end of the game, you have resources that you collect as well.
You can recruit people, train them. It's so cool. It's so fun.
It's a lot of fun. And then the person at the end with the most points wins. Next up, we have Takanoko, which do not confuse this Takanoko with Tokaido.
It is the same design. People, yeah.
Well, this is Takanoko. You have
a
garden with a panda and a gardener. And you can choose to build the garden, make the panda eat things, or make the gardener garden things and grow the bamboo. And you have cards with different tasks. And once you get those tasks, you put the card down. The first person with 7 cards down wins.
Not necessarily. First person with 7 cards down at the end of the game. And then everyone tallies up the score on their cards.
Yes.
And whoever has the highest.
It's really cute. The panda's adorable.
Yeah, it's feed the panda. It's easiest. It's the easiest way to win.
Next up,
Eldritch Horror. I love this game. Lengthy though. It can be. I think the first time we played it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Basically, there's an eldritch god.
There's different monsters.
A demon,
that you can
I guess.
choose
I don't know what you call it. Taking over the world, or basically it could be the signal of the end of the world. And you have to fight and close all these portals and solve mysteries to prevent it from coming and taking over the world.
Yeah. There's like monsters.
Very lengthy because there's a lot of reading.
There's encounter cards.
Yeah.
Our boxes.
It's a fun co-op game. Really in depth and complex. So.
Yeah.
Definitely
not an intro game.
No, I wouldn't recommend this intro game. Intro game.
Okay, so we have King of Tokyo, which this is one that he loves, and we have the power-up expansion, which unfortunately we haven't played with yet.
Because you don't want to play it.
I do! But yeah, it's very similar. It's like, not bingo, Yahtzee-esque.
It's Yahtzee on,
you have a bunch of die. You roll the die.
You punch people.
You can punch people. Someone goes into the middle, which is the Tokyo, aka King of Tokyo.
So you can choose a bunch of, you choose your monster to control first.
Yeah.
And you just want to, it's kind of like a King of the Hill.
If you're in the center, everyone else punches
up
you.
On you. Yeah. But you punch everyone else.
You punch everybody.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
And then lastly.
Okay. You want me to carry that?
No, I got it.
Penny will be lighter.
Put Penny on top.
No. This is Gloomhaven. This is a dungeon crawler game.
Longest game ever. Everyone knows Gloomhaven. You don't have to explain it.
I don't think everyone knows Gloomhaven.
It's a legacy game.
Yep.
It's a bunch of different scenarios.
I think there's about
that you go
95 scenarios or whatnot. Each scenario can take up to 2.5 hours.
You choose your character that you play the entire game through. Kind of like, I don't know about Dungeons and Dragons because I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons have more story. This does have story, but it doesn't get that too detailed. Yeah. It really just focuses on defeating monsters, going to dungeons and then fighting. Yeah. So that's why I call it Dungeon Crawler.
I don't play this game.
Yeah, you played this game.
I played it once. But he usually has friends come over and they play together. You can play it single player. It's not as fun. I find it more fun with multiplayer. I put it down now?
Recommend it. Yeah.
It's very heavy. There's a lot of components. We just leave it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. That's everything. We did a lot of talking in this video. I apologize if this video is like 40 minutes to an hour long.
It's going to be about 15 minutes long.
Definitely let me know down below if you guys have any games that you recommend we get. We do have another full shelf down here, as well as like half of the shelf beside Gloomhaven that we can still fill up. We do eventually want to upgrade to a calyx, bigger cube storage from IKEA. All the gamers have the calyx.
You should research that first.
Yeah.
If you want to see playthroughs of any of these so that you can actually understand it a little more,
let us know. But yeah, that's everything. Hopefully you guys
really
enjoyed.
Quick before we end this, favorite game?
My favorite game right now, I would have to say would be Everdell.
Yeah.
We really like that one.
Yeah,
we've been loving it.
I'd say, for me it's tough. It's either Everdell or Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter? I would say
I'm not going to count Gloomhaven because it's not for everyone.
No. Overall, I do think that I have the most fun with Sushi Go Party. We've had that one probably a pretty long time in our collection, and we've always loved that one. We haven't gotten sick of it. We play it pretty consistently, so I'd say that one. But right now, since we just recently got Everdell, we've been really liking that one.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, everyone should pick that up, I think.
Yeah, it's such a good game.
Really good.
Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to this channel, if you want to see more board game content from the two of us lovely people, come on. We are a board game couple. Yeah, subscribe if you want to see. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Oh, wait.